well. All right. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a great hump day. Just about to go live. Just getting one more thing set up here in the studio today. Got a really cool stream for you, especially if you're a music producer wanting to learn how to produce some music and also work with the this concept that I've been working on called live music gaming. So have that coming right up in just a second. See you in just about a minute. Hey, what is up, everybody? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out and waiting. Just getting everything set up still. As you can see, it's going to be a little different stream today. Got Ableton Live set up there in the background. And I'm going to kind of go over some unique concepts about streaming, live streaming with Ableton Live and DJing in Ableton Live over gameplay. Some of you might remember the live music gaming that we had going. I'll pull that up in the browser and show you guys. We had live music gaming. Me and Dr. Internet basically created a channel where I was doing DJ gameplay over. I was doing DJing over his gameplay. Sorry, that was a tongue twister. Just getting the voice warmed up today too. Just getting going. How are you doing out there? Let me know what you are up to out there today. And if you're new to the stream, thank you for stopping by the stream. I really appreciate it. Trying to get to 50 follows. I'm almost there. Literally have like 3 more to go. So it's not going to be long. I'm going to pull up our Twitch stream here just to give you an example to show you what I'm talking about here, because this is kind of hard to explain to some people because it's a new thing, it's a new concept, and it's not really something you would expect, especially in the streaming world. Let's see if we got any videos here. Our videos may already be gone. It's been quite a while since we last streamed. Nope, we still got some videos. We still got some highlights too. Okay, so without getting DMCA'd, I don't think I'll get DMCA'd. I'm just going to give you an example here of what this looks like with a live DJ over gameplay. So you guys take a look at this and tell me if you get it, basically. I think you'll get it. I think you will. So what I was doing here is I had a green screen set up. Wow, this is terrible quality too. I should have just played a video from my hard drive. But I think you guys get the idea. Here I am DJing. This is with another controller. This is with the Serato controller, though. This is not with Ableton. That's Dr. Internet up there in the corner. And basically, he was connected to me through NDI. We had this program called NDI, and it allows you to communicate video back and forth between two different computers. So I had NDI set up on his computer where I was pulling in his video feed, his camera. And then I've got my audio and everything set up. I'm streaming on my computer and he's doing gaming on his computer. So we have a total of 3 computers hooked up right now doing this. This is how we did it. And so that's how it works. This is called live music gaming. This is what we're trying to basically go over today. And that was our version 1. That was like our version 1 concept of live music gaming. Now we're moving on to like version 2 because of DMCA and because of, you know, all the things that are going on, copy strikes. I love the word copy strikes. I don't think copy strike is a real word. It's called copyright. But everyone on YouTube is saying copy strike. So a lot of people getting copy striked on Twitch and YouTube for DJing. And basically, I wanted you guys to see a couple solutions I had for DJing and not getting DMCA'd, and then not also getting copy striked. And so you can monetize your videos, because there's no point in deleting your videos every time you do a stream. I mean, that seems a little excessive. I know some people are doing that. I know some people are deleting their videos after every stream, and I just don't think that's practical, for producing content as a content producer. So I wanted to go over some solutions today. Still waiting on some people to show up. Might get Dr. Internet on the line today too. I'm going to pull up Discord and see if we can get Dr. Internet on the line as well. We'll see if he pops in today. He can kind of give you guys like a little bit more insight into what it was like for him as well as a gamer, because I would like you guys to understand the gamer side of this. And, from both perspectives, from a DJ perspective and from a musician perspective, So that's what we got. Checking the, bear with me, just checking the notifications here. There we go. All right. I'm going to create an invite for him and send it over to him. By the way, if you guys want to join the live show on Voice too, you're welcome to. I did set this up as a private channel originally, but you guys are welcome to join in and talk and ask questions too if you want the live show. Just join my Discord. You can get in the Discord by clicking on the link at the bottom of the Twitch video. There's a little link on the side. It says Discord. Just click on that. I'm going to send Dr. Internet a message real quick. Copy and paste. Let's see if that worked. Yep, that worked. All right. So now that we got some of the basic concepts, here laid out for you, live music gaming is DJ over gameplay. All right. So that's what the concept is. Me and Dr. Internet came up with this concept and basically are developing it into version 2.0 now. So 2.0 is in full effect. Let me make sure I'm actually set up here correctly. I'm not sure if I'm set up here correctly for this. It's a possibility I don't have my right Discord going. I've got two Discords. I'm actually going to hang up on this one because I can't communicate through this one, I don't think. Let me double check and see. Bear with me for just a second, guys. How are you guys doing? What's new with everybody out there? Anything going on your Wednesday today? You guys enjoying Hump Day? Maybe you're getting out, getting a chance to, I don't know, enjoy some sunshine today, possibly. Hopefully so. Oh, can't do both. Can't do Discord and Ableton. Oh, man. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to hang up from here. All right, and let's jump back over. Bear with me, guys. Just got one more thing to set up. I appreciate you guys hanging out if you're out there right now. I am kind of waiting, too, right now for some people to show up because I want to get some people, your feedback on this whole live music gaming concept. What we're looking at right now, too, is a default DJ set I have set up basically for decks, just like a DJ deck that you would see like on a Serato controller or something like that. And we're going to come back and I'm going to talk about that because there's two ways to do this. There's two ways to do live music gaming, in my opinion. One, of course, obviously is the standard DJ way that I was doing before with your Serato controller. And then also, you have other ways too, which are original, based on original music. And I think that way may be more productive long term, basically, for you guys, because I don't want you guys having to create content and having to throw it away. You know, that's the whole point here, that what we're talking about is like just making something that you can hold on to and monetize your streams with. All right, so looks like we're just getting warmed up here on the stream too. Everything is good. Oh, yesterday was such a crash. Like the Restream, I was using Restream to simulcast to YouTube, and oh my God, it did not go well. I think there was a major internet outage yesterday or something. I don't know what was going on. All right, so back to the DJ set here. This is my default DJ set in Ableton Live 10. I've got the Ableton Live 10 suite. And what we're looking at right now is a folder of mixed music. I keep a folder here too in my place. It's called mixed. And this is back when I was using mixed in key. Mixed in key basically goes and analyzes all your tracks and tells you what key they're in and what tempo they're in. You can see the tempo and the key of the tracks here. That's what that's all about. And so basically what I do is, I'm trying not to get copy striked here either, because I'm not mixing right now. By the way, that's one of the keys to DJing over gameplay. If you're going to do live music gaming with a friend and he's going to pull you in on Discord, or he's going to pull you in like through NDI, like we were talking about before, all you have to do is just make sure that you're remixing the hell out of that song. You're not playing that. You can't play that song like straight through. So that's one of the keys you guys should understand first and foremost if you're going to DJ like this as an Ableton DJ. So let's talk about the set. Let's kind of talk about the concept behind the set here. If you've never set up an Ableton Live DJ set, here's what you do. You want to create two audio tracks. You want an audio track for deck A, and then you want an audio track for deck B. Okay? And then you're going to click on this little button down here at the bottom left. I think you can see my pointer down there at the bottom right. And you can see that opens up the A and B time selection, or to A and B crossfade assign. And if neither A or B is on, the crossfader has no effect. If A is on, the track faded out as the crossfader moves right across the center position. If B is on, the track is faded out as the crossfader moves left across its center position. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, in order to use this crossfader, in order for this crossfader to actually work, you've got to assign this to a MIDI controller. So you got to bind this. So that's one thing you need to understand about DJing inside Ableton. Yes, you can do it like Rack. Yes, you can build out an Ableton's live set and have a drum machine just like Rack. I don't know if you guys have watched Rack, RAC, on Twitch. If you haven't, check him out. He's awesome. He does this 10 times better than what I'm going to be showing you. He's got his own proprietary Ableton Live sets that he's created, and the way that he remixes music on the fly. And that's what we're going to go into right after this, is talk about how to remix your music, how to create live original music. And I'm going to start building a set today that you guys can take and modify on your own. But I'm going to basically get it set up for you where you can have chord changes, and you can have beats, and you can have guitar, pianos, whatever you want to bring in and bring out as you're scoring a game. It's going to be basically, you're going to be like scoring a video game. As the gamer is playing, you're going to be able to score it just like a symphony, or scoring a movie or something like that. All right. So back to the crossfader. It says the crossfader allows for a single gesture volume fading of multiple tracks. The crossfader affects the volume of the tracks depending upon the status of their crossfader assigned buttons. All right, so A for A, B for B. All right, and here's the trick for this. If you have an Ableton Push device, get this little Max for Live device right here. This Max for Live device is called Push. I think it's called Push Crossfader. Let me see what it's called. It's called Touch Strip Crossfader. If you just type in Touch Strip Crossfader into Google, you'll be able to see or touch strip crossfader max for live device. You can get this, and if you want to send me a message on Discord too, you're welcome to send me a message on Discord. I'll just send it to you. It's free. It's a free download, max for live device. And all right, so you pull that on your master, and once you have that on the master, then you're able to actually move the crossfader. You can see the crossfader moving slightly there off to my, there you go. Crossfader is moving there back and forth between A and B. Let's pull in a track, a couple tracks, just so you can get a better idea of that, how that works. What I'm using again is a folder of mixed music that I have mixed in key. These are mixed in the key of 1A, which I believe is C. And I stagger these clips first for a reason too, in case the scene ever gets pushed, the scene button, selection button play, in case that ever gets selected, it only plays one track. And the way this looks on a push is the same that it looks here in session view. A lot of people don't use session view, and that always surprises me that a lot of people don't like to use session view, but I guess it depends on what world that you come from. I'm coming from a world of samplers and outboard gear, so this makes a lot more sense to me in this capacity of DJing. Okay, so we got the track. What you want to do is warp the track, obviously, and then after that you want to find the first beat, first downbeat on 1 there, and you want to set that, double click, and you want to set that as 1-1. Okay, that's real important, guys. Don't forget, you got to set 1-1 first on these tracks, otherwise they're not going to trigger on the beat. Okay, so most of the time, I'd say 9 times out of 10, you won't have any trouble setting a track on 1-1 on the first downbeat. Usually in most standard dance music and everything, the first beat of the song is going to continue on grid. It's not going to drift, so you won't have to worry about a whole lot of drifting, hopefully. If you do, I'll show you a workaround to figure that out. From here, what you want to do, you want to do warp. So you're going to do warp from here straight. I think I did that right. Let me double check. See if it's on the beat here. Let's try warp from here. There we go. Sorry, warp from here. So you saw what it did there, and the warp for here, basically it just aligned everything to the grid. So now everything's aligned to the grid of that track. So what we'll do is we'll check the track with the metronome just to be double sure that it's not drifting. So you want to turn on the metronome right up there in case you don't know where it is. I'm using the push 2 over to my side here as well. I've got the push 1 controller, and let me turn this down so it's not super high. All right, so we're at 90 right now. The track is at 124. It says 124, but it says 122 in the, there we go. Yeah, sorry, 122. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and match that in the tempo. Again, I've got the tempo selector on the Ableton push here that I'm adjusting. It's gonna go up to 122, keep it the standard tempo. All right, then we'll launch it. And again, I'm not gonna be doing a lot of, playing a lot of this track either because I don't want to get copy striked. Just going to give you an indication of what's going to happen here, and we're going to check it with the metronome. So what we're listening for is the metronome to be in time with the track now that we've warped it. All right, that sounds maybe like I've done something wrong, possibly. I'm not that familiar with the track. Let me just double check. Yeah, I messed up the track. All right, so what I did is I accidentally warped the track first before, or I did the wrong warp mode. So basically what I'm going to do is go back. I'm just undoing what I did there before. Okay, there we go. So we took the 1-1 off there. And I guess what you want to do first before you hit warp is you want to get this tempo up to the same tempo as the track, or initially. 122. There we go. All right, then we'll hit warp and then set 1-1 here. That's still not right either. I did something wrong. Let me see what I did wrong. Sometimes the warp modes can throw it off basically to where it's not warped correctly. And so it's like doing it double time right now. Let me try warp from here straight. There we go. Yeah, so that was the key. You just have to do warp from here straight. The warp mode that I had it in was just doubling the time. It was doing double time on it. So if you get that, if you have that issue like I did, just remember right click on your marker there, double click to make the marker on the 1, then right click set 1-1 here. Okay. Then after that, you should be good to go. And as you heard, the metronome sounded right on time with it. Okay, that's good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check the back of the track. We're going to check towards the end to make sure it's still in time. That way, if you set some cue points, like a DJ cue point you normally would, whatever part of the song, it's still going to be in time. All right, so I'm going to click over here. I've got this on 1 bar. You want to make sure this is on 1 bar or quarter. Let's just do 1 bar to make sure, to keep it in time.
I know you're gonna pick me up each time I'm down. Hey, I turn up when you're around.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's still in time, which is good. It's not drifting too much.
I'm so sure. Never felt.
All right, and a lot of you guys may not be comfortable working in this capacity here with the sample editor. Again, to create a warp marker, all you have to do is double click and to move around, all you have to do is use the little window right here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it because of my my camera, but that's basically what's going on. All right, and then after that, that track is set. I know that seemed kind of like a long way to do it, but that's part of the process of being an Ableton DJ. You have to basically produce the music and create the music in a capacity, in a sense that you're getting it ready to perform, more so than with the Serato or something like that. So the next track, I want to do the same thing. It's 124 is the tempo on that. So all we do then at that point is just go ahead and hit the warp mode. Also on the warp modes, I usually use Complex or Complex Pro for the full produced tracks. You can see it's a little off here. This is why you always go to the very beginning and you check the very beginning of the track, is because, oh, dang. I just launched Ableton Live 11. Trying to give you guys a sneak peek of Ableton Live 11. I'm a beta tester for Ableton Live 11 and I accidentally just clicked the wrong button there. Oops. I don't know if that'll even launch with Ableton Live 10 too. Let's see if it's in. Wow, that's crazy, it did. Okay, let's quit that. Hopefully it'll quit okay. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, so going back over here, you want to go to the beginning of the track. Double click right there on that little transient marker where you see it's kind of got like a ghost marker there. Double click on that, set 1-1 here, warp from here straight. Okay, and then check it with the metronome. Stop that one first, the first one. Okay, crossfader is crossfaded, so we don't crossfader back over. Sounds dead on. All right, cool. So we got it dead on. Yeah, definitely oops. Definitely oops, Afterburn. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'm kind of getting into some music production today, how to do some music for gaming for Ableton DJs and people who want to DJ in Ableton. We are basically still at the beginning, so you came in at a good time. How did your stream go last night? Did you play Call of Duty all night, or did you switch games? Dr. Internet was asking me if that was Call of Duty Cold War. Was it Call of Duty Cold War that you were playing last night, Afterburn? Hey, no problem at all. So just to catch you up, I'm not sure where you came in, Afterburn, but just to catch you up of where we're at here. Oh, it's just Warzone, I see. All I'm doing is I'm taking DJ music that is made for dance music, stuff that's already produced music, and I'm pulling it into Ableton Live and showing them how to DJ inside Ableton Live, inside your digital audio workstation. And that's where we're at right now. I've got a basic DJ set here that I've created. I've got, just like a standard DJ controller, I've got deck A and deck B. Our first track is set up here on deck A. Our second track is set up on deck B. Okay? And what we're doing right now is we're just making sure that these tracks are going to be on time and they're going to go with the global tempo of Ableton. You have Afterburn says he has Cold War and he haven't played a lot on the streams, but the lone guy I was playing with has free Warzone. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I've actually had that problem a lot, Afterburn, finding games to play with people that actually have the game. Last night we kind of got, we were trying to stream and I didn't make sure that the people I was going to stream with had all the same game. And the internet, there was some sort of internet outage too last night. We couldn't get Steam to work. Were you having trouble with Steam last night working? We couldn't get it to work. It was like intermittent outages of Steam last night. It was really weird. Okay, so after you got that 1-1 set, again, guys, turn on your metronome. Make sure it's still clicking in time towards the end of the track. So go somewhere towards the end of the track. Make sure you click on a downbeat, and you have this set to 1 bar on the global tempo up here. You see where my mouse is up there on the quantization menu? That's the global quantization menu. You want to set that to 1 bar or quarter notes. Quarter notes is a little bit risky. So I always keep it on 1 bar at the beginning like this, just to make sure the metronome is gonna be in direct time. Stream has been buggy since last update. Yeah, I've been dragging my feet on that update, man. OBS Live. Do you use OBS Live, or are you on Streamlabs OBS? I can't remember which one you're on. All right, so we're gonna check the tempo now. All right, you can hear the tempo still on. Again, I have to stop this music, guys, so I don't get copy striked. Copy strike is my affectionate term for DMCA'd, just because I think it's hilarious that people say copy striked. Oh, you've been using slobs. I made the switch. I finally made the switch to Stream Elements because of Cyrus. He was showing me all the advantages of Stream Elements OBS Live, and of course it's free too. Slobs is like expensive. I was paying that $20 a month with no affiliate, so I was having to come out of my pocket on that, and I think I ate like $100 worth of slobs over like about 8 months or something. It was pretty expensive, so I had to kind of cut my costs because I'm not really making any money at this yet. I love slobs though for its ease of use, man. The ease of use on that is so great. Like the ease of use is just, it's like plug and play. Stream Elements, there's a lot different and a lot more work involved, that's for sure. I don't like having to design my stream in a browser and then hit save and have to go back and look at like what I did to my overlays. That's kind of corny. I like being able to do the overlays in slobs. That's a lot better for me. That's definitely my preferred one, but you get what you pay for, you know? You get what you pay for. Okay, so there you go. Guys, we got 2 tracks set up now in Ableton Live, one on deck A, one on deck B. We got the tempos set. We make sure they're in the same key, within the same key as well too. If you're a DJ, if you've been DJing a while, you know that, you know, you want to keep it within the same key or relatively close to the same key for DJing purposes. All right, so what we're gonna do is just do a quick fade over from deck A to deck B. I'm going to try to do this really quickly too so I don't get copy striked, and just give you an idea of how this would sound. All right, so I'm going to start track 1. Turn that metronome off too. All right, then we're going to start deck B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to start fading over. All right, you can hear they're both in time. Now we're going to bring it to the middle as this fade comes in. Crossfading to the middle now where both tracks are going. Now 2 tracks are going at the same time right now. Increase the volume. Deck A, you want to check your high pass. All right, there you go. So that's how you DJ right there in Ableton Live. That's a pretty basic way to DJ right there, what I was just doing. Basically, I've got an effects rack here that I built with another friend, and I was just messing with the high pass filter there. Make sure you always reset your high pass filters. That's one thing that'll throw you off and you'll wonder why your track's not playing. You got that high pass filter on. So make sure you take care of that. What else can I say? Let me just go back to the beginning here and just kind of reemphasize there's 2 ways to do this. The first way, okay, yeah, afterburn. The deck switching is how you get the seamless transition in the song. Exactly, it's called crossfading. And the crossfader is located right here at the bottom. I think my camera's in the way where you can't see it. I'm trying to point it out with my mouse. I think if you can see it right there, I'm trying to wiggle my mouse there where you can see it. There it is right there. Okay, so on the master, I've got a crossfader, a MIDI device. And the MIDI device, basically, you can see it move. It's moving the crossfader. It's mapped out on a controller. I'm using my hand on a controller right now to move the crossfader back and forth. So yes, I'm crossfading between deck A and deck B. But when it's in the middle, like it is currently right there, you have both tracks playing at the same time. Now, if you have it over on A, the left side, it's just going to be track A, and then on track B, crossfade it over there like that. And that's how you crossfade in Ableton. But again, to get that to show up in Ableton, you have to enable the show hide crossfader section down here at the bottom where my mouse is. You see how that changes? You got to have that on right there so that you can enable that in order to be able to crossfade. All right, so that's the basics of DJing in Ableton Live. Now, where you go from there is up to you and how much you want to really build this out. You can build this out. I'll be glad to give you guys devices I've already built for this. I built a lot of effects racks, and I built a lot of different effects for DJing in Ableton Live. I used to be exclusively just an Ableton DJ and focus on live music performance, which is basically doing what Rack does, is like taking songs and totally redoing them in the sense of giving them effects, beat repeat, and stuff like that, that basically makes it your own song. And I'll give you some examples of that with this effect rack I have on right now. You can see it's called Trips DJ Effects Rack. That's the rack that my old friend Jacob K. Peterson, he's got live music television on Twitch. Check him out. Him and I built this. So I'll give you an example here of how that works with the effects rack here. Okay, so in the effects racks, you know, you got the standard low, standard high. Take the lows out right there. Then you've got a gain control too, in case you need to add less gain or take away gain or add gain. Usually keep that at 0 pretty much all the time. And then you've got the repeats. You can change the repeats on.
Pick me up each time I'm down.
So that's how you change the repeats.
When you're around.
Then you got your low pass and high pass filters. Low pass, of course, only lets the lows come through. I got these tracks turned way down, guys, because I'm trying not to get copy striked on DMC8 or anything. Take the low pass back off. Here's your high pass. High pass just obviously lets the highs through. Back in normal mode. Then you got your reverb pump. This is when you want to add like something to the chorus or fade out or something. Check it out. That's all reverb pump right there. It was that shh. All right, so that's some of the effects that the most common effects I would recommend that you start with learning in Ableton, the beat repeat, and then also low pass and high pass. Always make sure you got the low pass and high pass. Typically, all you need is the high pass for now, but if you like low pass, you know, go ahead and get both of those on there too if you want. Here's what it all looks like. They're all together here in the effects rack. Beat repeat is all mapped to the macros here. And we've got a lot of devices. All these devices are all mapped out beautifully. If you want this device and you have Ableton Live, let me know. Just shoot me a message in Discord. Join my Discord. The link is right below the video here on Twitch. And feel free to do it. Hey, see you later, Afterburn. Yes, they are merciless. Yes. Gotta find the workarounds, man. Workarounds around the algorithms and trying to stay creative. Thank you for coming by today, man. I appreciate it. Gotta give them the tips. And then this reverb pump is just basically a reverb chain that's been set. The reverb chain has been set to crossfade between two different types of reverb. And that's what creates the effect. As the reverb chain pump comes on, or as it goes on to dry, you can see it moving there in the chain selector ruler. And it goes from dry back over. And I've got a delay. See the delay there? A saturator. And also, what else? On that one. Okay, those are both dry. So got a dry here, nothing on that one. And then a delay and a saturator there. Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry, I thought CYA meant see ya. Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah, definitely. Yes, I'm definitely being extremely careful. I figured out, while we're on the subject too, I'll go ahead and tell you the trick here to being able to get around the algorithm. As long as you're changing the song volume structure down below negative 10 dB, which it is currently, you can see on the faders there, it is over like negative 12 right now, I think is where it's at. As long as the song is low enough in volume and you're adding some kind of effect like the high pass filter, low pass filter, or beat repeat, and you're not playing more than 30 seconds of the song, you're not going to trip the algorithm. I've toyed around with this a little bit, and you've just got to change the song enough to where the algorithm can't recognize it in terms of volume and in terms of beats and the way that it's going. So you've got to be creative, a DJ. This basically allows This basically is like a call to us DJs to be more creative with our mixes. And if you guys want a prime example of this, you need to check out Rack, R-A-C. Rack is on Twitch. And he's one of the guys that really figured this out early on with Ableton Live about how to do live remixes on the fly and how to do live remixes that sound like original music. You're producing original music. And that's what we're going to get into next. This is a good transition. So next, like I said, this is the first way that you can DJ with Ableton Live is the way that we just set it up here. And there's other things you can add cues. If you want to add cue points to your songs, you can get this from Isotonic Studios. It's called Hot Cue Universal MIDI Deck 1. And what this does, this allows you to set cue points in this track. So as you can see in the track here, there's different sections. So this cue point selector or this MIDI device will allow you to set cue points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at specific points in the track, and it remembers that. And that's what's so cool. I don't think there's anything else like this that I know of, but it's from Isotonic Studios. Check out Isotonic Studios, ISOTONIK. Hot Cue Universal MIDI Deck is what I use to set the cue points. And I don't have my controllers hooked up for this. I'm going to show you guys this another time when we get into DJing in Ableton Live specifically. Basically what I'm doing today is giving you an overview of how you can avoid DMCA takedowns on Twitch and how you can avoid copy strikes on YouTube. And again, the first way that you can do this DJing in Ableton Live is to set up an Ableton Live set like this, where you've got your tracks laid out. Again, you want them staggered like this, where you've got them set up to where they're not on the same scene. That way, if you trigger a scene, it only triggers one track. Okay, and then after that, you want to make sure you got an effects rack on, and you want to make sure that you're doing lots of effects. Typically, a part of the song too that is not very distinguishable, you want to pick parts of the track that maybe are just rhythmic parts of the track, like this, like a piano part maybe.
I know you're gonna pick me up.
So maybe pick a part like that and loop that with the Ableton Live looper, and then bring in the beat, similar to what we're doing here. Something like that. You got to do fast fades, guys. That's the key here to trip the algorithm. You have to do fast fades. You can't let this song play more than 30 seconds. Typically, I don't let these songs play more than 15 seconds, 20 seconds, especially on the stream right now, the way that I'm showing this to you guys. I'm just doing 5 to 10 seconds at most of the song because you will get copy strike or DMCA takedown by playing music that you like in top 40 music. So you got to do fast fades. You got to use that crossfader, or you got to figure out what parts of the song ahead of time that you want to switch to. And that's just part of being a good DJ. That's just part of DJ skills. We're not going to get into DJ skills today, but I am going to show you a few devices I use. Again, this one is for hot cues. It's called the Hot Cue Universal MIDI Deck 1 from Isotonic Studios. That's how you set your cues into the song, into the tracks, where you can switch quickly between parts of the track without having to crossfade, where you can do more of like a sample-based sound. That's how you do it. So you want to get something you can set some hot cues with. I don't know if there's other devices out there. There could be, but I think this is one of my favorite ones. And it's called Universal Hot Cue MIDI, Hot Cue Universal MIDI Deck from Isotonic Studios. Other than that, just a quick recap on how to avoid the algorithm. Quick fades, also low volume. If you got something really popular, like a really popular track, like a top 10, top 40 track, try to get that track in acapella version. Acapella version is just the vocals only, and try to just use only the vocal track over the beat, over another track's beat. So if you got one track going on the beat, and then you got another track with the acapella, if you're a DJ, you know this is like standard stuff for you. Try to use acapellas and get more creative with it. So the key is you just got to be really creative. And the same goes with effects here too. I'll play some more effects for you. If you're going crazy on the effects, I know it doesn't sound intuitive to go crazy on the effects, but you kind of have to trip the algorithm to make sure that you're not tripping the algorithm. So Veronica says, can you spell the studio name? Oh, studio. Yeah. It's called Isotonic Studio. ISOTONIK. You can see at the bottom left of the screen right there. I'll put my mouse on it down there. Comes up there. ISOTONIK. Isotonic Studio. I'll drop a link actually. I think I have a browser open here. I'll drop a link. So this is what it looked like. I'll give you another example of what it looked like here when we were doing it. This is exactly what it looks like if you have someone DJing over gameplay. This is me and Dr. Internet here. No volume because I don't want to get the copy strikes DMCA'd here. Isotonic Studios. Oops, can't be found. Let's go to the home page here. Okay, so here's the company, Veronica, that I'm using. I'm going to post this in the chat for you in just a sec. Or you can see the website there, ISOTONIK. Isotonicstudios.com. All right. This has got pretty intense. I know this is a lot to go over for you guys, especially guys that are new to Ableton. So if you have questions, go ahead and ask some questions now. If you got some questions about the default DJ way of doing this, this is the first way to do this. The second way that we're going to go into doing this is going to be based on creating original music and creating music that is actually music that you're producing on the fly. And that's what we're going to look at next after we go over a couple of effects here. Okay, so on these effects, on my sends, I have a reverb, a delay, a rise, reverb in the basement, ping pong, and Lucifer. I don't remember exactly what Lucifer does. Let's try that out and see exactly what that does. Okay. It's almost like a beat repeat. Ping pong. Rise. And reverb. You can still hear him going through the effects though, pretty hardcore. That's a big one right there. Let's see if I can turn it off. There we go. That thing will keep going forever. I need to set that a little differently. But anyway, as you see, I have multiple effects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 effects. And then also 2 effects racks on each deck. My effect rack includes low pass, high pass filter, beat repeat, and just a gain, and then a reverb pump. Those are what I would recommend for your basic setup. All right. If you want this default DJ set that I have here, I can give this to you too. Just message me on Discord. Discord link again on Twitch is at the bottom of the video. You can see the Discord link. And if you're on YouTube watching right now as well, join me on twitch.calebjoymusic, twitch.calebjoymusic. And that's where we're going to start doing a series of these videos showing you guys how to DJ on Twitch without getting copy striked and without getting DMCA'd. All right, so we just finished the first way that you can DJ in Ableton Live, and we went over 3 or 4 different things that you can do to avoid copy strike. If you have any questions, you guys feel free, you're welcome to ask any questions right now. Your questions are definitely welcome. I'm going to load up another set here. This one we're starting from scratch because this one's going to be a big one. This one's probably going to take a couple streams to show exactly, what all that you can do as far as producing original music with Ableton Live. So what we want to start with here in Ableton Live is with just like some chords, some basic arrangement of chords. Because the way that I'm envisioning this is, again, like what you see here, where I'm DJing over a gamer playing some music, or a DJing over someone doing gameplay. So what I want to do is I want to figure out in Ableton Live, I want to build a set with multiple chord changes and multiple different things that are going on in it so that you can actually score the gameplay, kind of like the music that's already in the game, but it allows the performer, allows the musician to be a musician as well through a digital audio workstation. So I don't know if this is all making sense to you guys, but I'm hoping it's giving you some good alternatives here. All right, so what we're going to start with is just a regular old piano. We'll throw the piano on so we can get some basic chord changes. The way that I would recommend doing this is I would set this, I'm going to set up like a ton of scenes here. This is probably going to be way, way more than what we're starting with. We're just start with 20 for now. But what you want to do is start with some clips of chord changes. So I have a chord player. I believe I have a chord player here that is going to help me. There it is. This chord player is called Ben's chord player. And what it does is when you're using a device like a Ableton Live push controller, it plays the full piano chord so that you don't have to play each note individually. So you can go through and you can set it up and you can play in key, or you can play all the chords or all the notes in that key. This is what it looks like. It's called Ben's chord player. Let me make sure it's set up correctly with the push device here. All right, I think it's set up correctly. There we go. A little bit loud. We're in the key of C. There, starting in the key of C. We'll just do everything in C. That's one of the tricks I learned from Rack was he actually keeps everything in C. All right, so let's get also a little drum beat. I use this drum machine. It's called Instant Beat. It's by Alex Kidd. If you've not checked out Instant Beat, get Instant Beat as well by Alex Kidd. It's just house drums. It's like a house drum machine. All right. Let's go and get the tempo. Usually set the tempo like around 110, 116 to start out. All right, got some hats going there. A little percussion you can see. Let's turn the percussion off. Let's get a nice kick. All right, so I'm just changing the kick note right now. That'll do for now. So we got the hat and the kick going right now, just to give us something to go by as far as chords. Usually start like on 116 if I'm recording chords. All right, so with the piano, we'll just go through and start working on some chords. What you want is some dramatic chords for gameplay, stuff that's more like focused towards tension. So just like somewhere in the minor range. I don't have my camera turned on the push where you guys can see me playing. I wish I had another camera set up to show you. But let me record that in just so you can see what it looks like when I record in those chords. I'm just going to record some basic chords. There we go. All right, so you can see those recorded well. The first one obviously did not work. We want that one there. Just draw that one in. All right, so quantize all these. Back out. Sorry guys, my mouse is a little weird today. Undo that one. There we go. And then fold these up. What I like to do is do them legato as well. So select all and then hit legato. And that extends the note out to each measure where it extends full. Then also in volume too, I like to make sure that the velocity on all these notes is set at the top velocity. It's another trick for you guys too when you're starting to record your MIDI notes. Make sure they go the full length of the bars. Make sure you got velocity up too. There we go. So we got the chord progression. First chord progression. All right, cool. So that's sort of a minory chord progression, and I'm going on the fact that I am a musician right now, that I kind of know music theory a little bit. If you don't know music theory and you don't know what type of chords you want to do, look up some sort of a chord chart or chord accompaniment guide online. Just type in chord accompaniment guide or chords that go together, and stick with chords that are in the minor keys and that create tension. We're doing 4 bars right now, 4-bar loops. All right, so let's do another one. What we're doing right now too, also, just so you guys know, is we're setting up a bunch of chord changes so that when you're actually performing, you basically have multiple chord changes that you can switch to, which will make the entire song change. Basically, we're creating new songs. And what this is going to allow you to do is change chords instantly as the gamer is playing the game in unison with whatever's going on with the game, okay? So that's the first chord. We're going to just do 2 more so we can move on, because I know this is a lot to take in right now. Again, we've got instant beat going right now. That's what's giving us, this is our drum machine for now, instant beat. Let's put that over track 1. Instant House by Alex Kidd. Check it out. It's a Max for Live device. It's fantastic. Gives you a good indication of where you need to go with your drums, or just something to lean on until you actually play in your real drums. It's not meant to be a substitute for drums or a drummer. It's just basically like to give you an indication of what you need to do initially. Now, if you want to keep this going, here's what Rack does. Rack keeps his going the full time. Like, he's got a drum machine that he keeps going the full time with his songs. So you could typically the way you program this is you could go and you could assign MIDI notes to each one to change the notes, and that's what you see in green here. So when you change a kick note, it changes the kick, the snare, things like that. So this is actually perfect for what we're doing with live music gaming, because we can take different samples, like different kicks. Here's one kick, 2 kicks, 3 kicks, 4 kicks. So you can take these different samples and change them out in this drum rack. Like, I'm definitely going to change these out for the live music gaming that we're going to be doing. I'm going to basically change these to more kicks that are more like that, like more like dub oriented, or more like dubstep oriented, or trap oriented kicks, things like that. You can just switch these out and this thing will still work as a drum machine for you. And again, we're working under the guide here. All of this falls under the same guide that we're creating music on the fly. We're creating new music, original music on the fly. And this is called live performance. Okay, so we got the first set of chord changes there. All right, that's good. Let's do the second set of chords. Again, I'm sticking in the minor range here and giving you chords that are more oriented towards like darker video game play or more like action oriented play. And it's not going to be on the grand piano either. I'm just starting with the grand piano to give you an idea of what the chords are. This is what they look like with the chord player that I'm using. I'm using Ben's chord player. And what that does is he's got this all set to each note in the chord, and you just have to play one note and it plays the full chord for you. So if you like chord players and you don't know how to play piano, this is perfect for you. Get Ben's chord player. Just type in Ben's chord player or message me on Discord. I'll get it to you. Let's do one more chord progression change here. All right, so I'm going to go with something more dramatic for like kind of like a starting point of the game. I'm going to record something in here. Okay, just kind of getting some ideas together here of what I'm going to do. I'm going to record this in just a second. It's a little too housey. Not really sure I like that. Got house music on the brain today because we started in the DJ set. And guys, too, what I'm using over here is an Ableton push off screen. And next video, I'll have a overhead cam where you guys can see me playing on the Ableton push here. That's how I'm playing these chords in. I've got a sustain pedal too to make it sound like a piano. I've got the grand piano on here. It's called Grand Piano Equal Bright Production. That's what I'm using to get these chords together. This is sort of my workflow process too. You guys are kind of understanding how I create music. This is how I create music. I start with very basic stuff, very basic, like a very basic beat and a very basic piano just to get the idea and the concept down. And then I start building layers on top of that. And that's what we're going to do with this new live stream that I'm doing with Ableton production here, is I'm going to show you the template that I'm building here. It's going to be built out with multiple chord changes, multiple drum beats, multiple drum sets. And then from there, you guys can take it and fill it in with your samples and different transition samples and things that you have as well. And you can lay this entire set out to be set up to something where you can play along with a gamer. Whoever's gaming, you can play along and you can play the chord changes, the transitions, the drum beats, whatever you want to play in behind the gamer. And so you're creating your own original live music. That's the key here, is that this is how we're going to avoid takedowns from here on out, is create your own original live music on the fly with Ableton Live. There's no better software to do it. Ableton Live is the software you need to be using to do this, trust me. I've had many, many years of experience with other software, and this is the easiest for live production. That's why they call it Ableton Live. All right, so back to the chords. We're going to finish these chords up. I'm just going to do one more set of chords after this. Then we're going to move on to the next step. Again, this is probably going to be a 2 or 3 stream thing where we go and build this set out. We're just starting today. This is the beginning of the Ableton Live set. This is the original Ableton Live set. And let's go ahead and save too, so we don't lose it. All right, so this is going to be called Live Music Gaming. And again, that's our concept. Dr. Internet and I have come up with this concept of live music performance over gameplay. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to basically take this concept to its full fruition here. And this is version 2.0. As you saw, version 1.0 was just DJing. And again, as Afterburn was saying, you can't DJ anymore because you're going to get taken down. You're going to get DMCA strike, because if you're playing noticeable top 40 music, they're going to strike you unless you're crossfading quickly or you're changing the entire arrangement of the song and doing multiple effects. So this is a call to be a better DJ in that respect, if you want to do it in that respect. But I'm trying to push for you guys to create more original live music too. I think that's going to be the ultimate key to this too, and help make us all better people. That's for sure. All right, so here's some more chords. Again, we're going with some dark chords, sort of like some minor-y stuff. We're in a minor key. We're in the key of C right now, and I'm basically going in and just writing these chords on the fly. I'm just doing a bunch of different chord progressions, four bar chord progressions here. I kind of like the first one. Need something more thematic though. Let's stop that. Let's try it again. I think I'm hearing something more along the lines of. This is sort of like imagine if this was played like on a synth or something. This would sort of be like a like something's coming, like it's building anticipation. Trying to stay away from the house chords, sorry. Got house music on the brain today. That's good. That could be really airy. I like that. All right, let's lay that in. All right, cool. So we got it. So again, what you want to do with those chords after you get them, if you're new to Ableton, want to select all those chords and Command U, get those quantized. Got a little extra one there, get rid of that one. And then also, while you're there, go ahead and turn up all the velocities on all the notes. Command A to select all, and then pull up the velocity right there on the little velocity control to make sure you got all the notes pulled up there. And then that way you've got good even volume on all the chords. The notes aren't off or anything like that. And then make sure they're folded. All right, so we got 2 chord changes. Here's the first one. All right, here's the second one. Let's make these legato. Again, I missed one step. Select all notes, then select legato over here in the force legato. And you can see that extends out all the notes where they play properly, the proper length of the bar. Okay, there's different ways you can do this, but I'm showing you my way right now. Okay, all right, then after that, it should sound normal. Okay, that's cool. That's like a tension building one. Let's do one more. We're gonna do one more chord change. Then I'm gonna play these with different synth patches or different pad patches, so you guys can actually hear what this would sound like in terms of the way it would sound like a game, like in a game, basically. Because I know this doesn't sound like anything right now. I know this just sounds like some piano chords, but when you put a pad patch on this, like, or a synth patch on this, it's gonna start to sound like a game, okay? So you're going to hear that in just a second. I'm going to do one more set of chords here so we have some diversity of chords and stuff to play around with. And we'll play around with the drum beats and the patches at that point. And then you guys will begin to hear what's going on here. Okay, so for the next set of chords, I want to do something like really like staccato in terms of music. That means quick. So let's do something staccato, like an action, like something action happens. Hang on, foot pedal stuck here. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go with just the MIDI notes staccato there. I'm going to change my mind on that. I'm going to do an actual arpeggiator on that. So I'll show you guys what an arpeggiator can do for you as well in this regard to make it actually sound like video game music. But we got to get the chords first. Two important things to remember here when you're producing original music. Get your chords laid down in a piano so you know what the hell the chords are first. And don't spend a bunch of time drawing out your chords with the pen. If you're a mouse guy and you're a pen guy and you like to draw them out with the pencil, that's fine, but I would highly suggest that you get a chord player, something like this Ben's chord player, or something like, or learn to play piano. I can play piano, but this is a shortcut for me. I'm shortcutting my workflow here for you guys to make this a more timely process. All right, so I'm going to record one more set of chords here. Again, just standard chords because we're going to throw an arpeggiator on that is going to make these sound more like music. And I'm not sure if I missed any chats. If I missed any chats, I'm sorry. I just noticed that my phone may be off. I'm going to make sure it's on here. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. All right, yeah, we're good. I was making sure I didn't miss any chats there. All right, so one more set of chords here. That's a good one. Here we go. Cool. All right, we got that one. We're doing some basic chords because we're going to let the effects and the patches take precedence here. And again, I kind of jumped the gun on that. Let me back up a little bit. All right, so select all, quantize, Command U on Mac, Windows or Control U on PC. And then select all, legato, and then check your velocity. Make sure you got all the notes with the same velocity. Make sure all selected, Command A on Mac, Control A, PC. Pull those velocity ups on all of your notes there. All right. And so let's take a listen to this chord progression. You can see that one's off there a little bit. Let's put it right on the downbeat. There we go. All right, so we're just going to check this chord progression. And now we have 3 chord progressions. We can start playing around with stuff now to kind of hear different voices for these chord progressions. All right, that one's a little overlapping there. The legato, I think, made it a little bit off. There we go. Cool. All right, let's get my kick going again. I don't hear the kick going. Let's make sure that's on. We lost it. It's muted, that's why. All right, so we're gonna take the tempo down first. When we think about gaming music, I think about gaming music that's probably more ambient and more slower. So I'm gonna turn down the tempo. We're gonna go down to like 100. All right, so obviously we have a piano as our starting point for the chords, just so we can hear the chords. That's one of my tips and tricks in producing music. Start with a simple thing. Start with just like a nice piano. The one I'm using is called Grand Piano Equal Bright Production. This one is a little bit resource heavy in Ableton Live, but it's worth it. It sounds really good. There's some cheap pianos that you can get and use. My friend developed one. It's called the Micro Piano, and the Micro Piano sounds like this. I'll show you what it looks like as well. This is developed by a friend of mine. If you want it, let me know. I'll send you the link to it. Just join my Discord there. Underneath the bottom of the Twitch video, there's a link to Discord. You can join. Let me know if it doesn't work. All right, so that's the micro piano. It's not really that great. It's just something, again, to give you basic chords. That's why I stick with the other one I was showing you, the Grand Piano Equal Bright Production. I feel like that's probably the best one to start with simple chords. And I've got an effects rack built into it. You can see it's built into an effects rack there. All the notes are laid out in the sampler there. I think it's just the standard one with Ableton Live. I'm not sure if I modified this or not. Okay, so from here, from this point, what we're going to do is start listening to some different ambient pads. What I like to use for my pads is Serum. Serum is one of my favorite VSTs and favorite plugins to do music production in. If you know Serum and you know some tricks, maybe you can teach me some stuff. I'm just getting into it. I've only been using Serum for about, I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years, so I'm still kind of new to it. But we're going to check out some pads first. And what we're doing right now is we're creating a bass for you to go by, something that is like a bass of, like when you think of term of producing music, you were creating like all these layers of tracks and all these different things that go into music. And what I start with the most basic elements first, the drums and the basic chords. Okay, so that's going to be the backbone of it, the drums and the chords first. That's what we're getting right now. We'll get into effects and we'll get into like really changing chord structures, and not changing chord structures, but changing effects and things like that. Let me make sure I have this turned down. It's not blasting. I think this one would sound good with the Serum. Let's see what we got here. Just need to change some settings here. I need to put my samples back up. I've got an old Mac. I've got that 2012. I got that old 2012 Mac. So got to make sure that buffer size is up to run the Serum. All right, now you can hear it starting to sound a little more gamey. This is just simply by using a drum machine and a pad, okay? And that's why I was saying I'm gonna start with a bunch of different chords, because I want you guys to hear what all you can do on the fly in producing your own music. You don't have to like DJ stuff all the time. You can just create some Ableton Live sets like this with about 10 or 20 chord changes and 10 or 20 different patches in Serum and 10 or 20 different drum kits, and you can produce your own music on the fly, especially if you know how to play piano or you play guitar. You can play guitar to this, or you can play keyboards over top of stuff like this, and you've got original video game scoring. You're doing your original video game scoring, basically. So this sounds like an intro to a game already. Let's just get a little bit creative here and maybe add some percussion in with the drum machine. I like that. I'm going to change the note of the percussion a little bit. I think I like the original one best. Okay, there we go. So we've got one really low-key ambient video game track right there, almost ready to go. All we need is a little more percussion on that. So let's grab a kit. Since we're using the drum machine, let's go ahead and grab a kit and make our own beat, because I want you guys to really focus on making your own stuff. That's the key here to avoid DMCA, is like get creative as possible with this. And again, I'm setting this template up kind of loosely right now just to kind of show you what I'm doing. But this template is going to be set up where you guys can have this template after we get done. We're probably going to do about 3 or 4 live streams on building this template, because again, it's going to take multiple chord changes, multiple voices, multiple drum beats and things, and you guys will be able to change those on your own. I'm just going to give you the chords, and I'm going to give you the structure of the Ableton set, and then you can take it from there and you can put your own samples, your own chords, and your own stuff in there, okay? But I think the most helpful to you guys will be the chords. At least you'll have some chords to go by, because one of the hardest things for people to do is to play piano. There's not a lot of piano players out there. Okay, so let me check the chat real quick and see if we got anybody in the chat. I don't think so. Nobody in the chat that I can see right now. If you have any questions right now too, feel free to ask them. This is a good stopping point. Happy to answer any questions as we go along here. And thank you all, everyone, for tuning in today too to the Ableton live music gaming stream. This is a live music gaming concept that Dr. Internet and I came up with a long time ago. As you can see on screen here, this is the first version of it that we did here. This is version 1, where I'm just basically DJing as a DJ and he's playing games. And we were able to do this because we have multiple computers and we're using NDI also to transfer video streams from his computer to my computer, so that one computer's running the game, another computer's running the music, and then we had a third computer running the stream. So this is a multiple computer setup, and this was version 1 of live music gaming. You can see the stream there, or the name on Twitch, Live Music Gaming. We were able to get that. We haven't been live in a long time because we're trying to figure out how that we can avoid these DMCA takedowns, because the DMCA takedowns are real. And like they're just going to get worse and worse and worse, and you could potentially run into some legal issues too, where you can actually get sued or possibly face like criminal charges for playing other people's music on stream now. So you got to be careful. And again, like if you look at the first part of this video, if you're just coming in on the stream, the first part of this video I talked about ways that you can avoid DMCA strikes as a DJ, okay? There's 3 or 4 different ways that you can do that. I'm not going to go back into that right now because we're already into creating live music, live original music. Okay, so that's the first set of chords. We got 3 sets of chords there. That's the first pad that we found. Let's apply this pad to other chord progressions that we had as well and hear how that sounds. I'm just curious right now. I know we're supposed to be doing drum beats, so we're going to go into some drum beats, but I'm just curious right now. That's perfect. I love that one. That one's called Angel Dust. Good pad. Perfect for background for a video game. It's another good one right there called Ambi Carelessness. Afterburn says it sounds perfect for some Among Us. Yeah, very spooky. I think that's what comes to my mind initially for some of this. That's why I'm going for darker textures and more minory sounding stuff at first, is because I feel like a lot of games are more geared towards that like dark ambient textured background. I think this would be perfect for that. Among Us would be great. That one's even got a cavern. You can hear the cavern inside. Let's try the other chords on it. There we go. I like that one a lot better. See what's going on with the drum machine, if I can do anything else. Yeah, epic, like horror, sci-fi feel. Afterburn, definitely. Among Us, Dead Space. What's the name of the game? Afterburn, the one where you're like investigating ghost and like you're a ghost hunter. Is that Among Us? Am I thinking about the right game? You're basically doing ghost hunting. Oh, Phasmophobia, yeah. I was thinking, yeah, like you were saying, in the horror genre. This is great for the horror genre for sure. So I'm going to go back to that first one. We're on Angel Dust and go back to the first set of chords here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add some dramatic drums. Some really dramatic, like timpani drums, like do-doom, do-doom, doom, doom. And guys, the only reason that I know, like I like know where I'm going with this is because I'm very, very like intuitive when it comes to like music and it comes to producing music. I've been doing this for like 20 years. So this is, if I'm making this like seem like easier than what it is, it's not really that easy. There's a lot of ins and outs to that. I'm just kind of giving you a base idea of what to expect. So again, we got the drum machine going here, the instant beat going for now to give us a bass tempo and something to go by with the chords. So let's go ahead and get a little bit more creative and add some drums, some timpani drums. So I'm going to find basically first, I want to get something like a drum rack. I'm going to pull in a new drum rack and we're going to build a custom drum rack. This is something that you can do on your own if you have samples and if you have the ear to do it. If you don't have the ear to do this and you don't know where to start for samples for timpani drums, I would suggest using something like Contact Complete 5, which is in the Contact library, Native Instruments, something like that would have some crazy stuff, crazy drums. So what we're going to look at now is timpani. Look for some timpani drums. There we go. Make sure my volume is on so you guys can hear these. There we go. Yeah, let's make sure we got these in the key of C too. Some of these are kind of weird timpanis. I'm just going to throw a couple in here. Need like a roll too. I really need like a timpani roll. We'll go for that next, but for now I'm just going to pull in a couple basic timpani drums here. One in A, one in B. These are different keys, I'm thinking. Yeah. And one in C. And where we're pulling these into is a drum rack. And in the drum rack, what we're going to do is actually play these over top to make it sound like a little bit more symphonic. Give it that symphony sound. Timpani drums is what that is. When you guys listen and you hear like the doom doom, doom doom. And these are just flat out like timpani drums. There's no effects on these. When we add effects, you'll start to understand, okay, that sounds like some big ass drums. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and get that effect that we're looking for the timpani drums. Probably want to throw on like the echo. Echo is pretty intense. We'll probably put the echo on. Let's do a ambient space. Let's do Ethereal Canyon. I'm just using some presets here to go quickly for the workflow because I don't want to drag this out too much. Because again, we're building a big set here. We're probably going to do 20 chord changes, maybe 20 different drum patterns. And I don't know if I don't think it's a good idea for me to give you the patches that I have in Serum here. I don't think that's a great idea. I don't think I can legally do that. So what I'm going to do for this set, in hindsight, now that I'm thinking about it, is I'm going to build out a bunch of chords for you guys over a couple streams, and I'm going to build out a bunch of different drum beats, MIDI files, okay? And then you guys can take your samples and your patches, your VSTs, and you can plug them in, and you can develop your own sounds with the MIDI files that I give you, okay? So that's one reason to hang in with these streams and to keep being a part of the stream here and hanging out. All right, so let's hear what these drums sound like now with the Ethereal Canyon. Ethereal Canyon. That's pretty ethereal. Very long delay on that. Okay, typically I don't like running these effects dry like this, like on the same channel. I like putting them in the sends. But for the sake of simplicity, let's keep them on the let's keep them on a return, just so they can clear up a little bit more. We'll put this on the first reverb there. Sometimes you can run these in parallel. I'm not going to run the effects in parallel right now. I'm just basically putting on a send. Quick key to get the sends to come up is Command-Alt-R. Make them go away, Command-Alt-R. Or to get your sends to come up, Command-Alt-S. Now you got your sends up. Cool, huh? I like key commands. It's my favorite thing. All right, so let's hear now in full glory. Full glory. This is the first scene we've created here. Actually, we don't want to play the grand piano. Let's turn the grand pianos off. Pretty spooky. All right, now let's throw those timpani drums in there like we were talking about before. It'd help if I had the mix turned up on the Canyon. There we go. That's pretty crazy. I gotta play with the reverb a little bit on that. That's pretty wild. Let's do a left, a little more on the left. There we go. All right, so here we go with timpani, full timpani drums, everything all together. You guys can watch me play the drums here on the picture. Switching different samples when switch the waveform. All right, so I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to record that MIDI track for those timpanis now in there. And that's something we can use along and along on all these scenes. Give it like 4 bars to go in. Come in on the 5. All right, that patch is taxing my resources. You can hear the little clicking and pops there because of the, that's a big patch. I'm going to switch to a different patch that's a little bit less system resource intensive. Make sure I got all these quantized here. Pretty nice, right? Starts to sound like a real game. Timpanis really add that texture, really add that punch. Here they go. Timpani's coming up here on 5. Oop, that's off a little bit. All right, so I want to change my grid here to 16, and it looks like this was a little bit slow here. Yeah, it's a little bit slow, so we want to do more like something like this. Yeah. All right, that sounds good to me. I'm not a huge fan of this ethereal canyon. I mean, it sounds pretty good, but I'm thinking there's something a little better. Let's try the set back in space. Oh, I'm sorry. I had another reverb on. That's why. I noticed something sounded weird. I had 2 reverbs on the return. Okay, so now let's actually hear it like the way it should be heard. Here's the timpanis coming in. 1, 2. Nice. Give it a little space there to do its thing, to add more textures. Then it comes back in here. There you go. All right, so timpani drums, that's just 3 tracks, guys. We've got the Instant Beat, which is just a drum machine. A simple drum machine called Instant House by Alex Kidd. We've got a drum rack with 3 timpani drums, 4 timpani drums, and we got some basic chords on a serum using pads. Okay, and again, I can't give you my serum pads. And I'm not really sure I want to, honestly, because I want you guys to kind of get creative with it. If you absolutely have to have these serum patches, I will export these out as audio files for you. But I think you'd be better served to use your own plugins and maybe even purchase serum and then use whatever pads you choose, because I feel like by just giving you a template, it's going to give you more creativity and more of a different sound than my template, you know, because these are all sounds that I'm choosing here specifically to my taste, okay? Now let's just hear what the other chord changes we did. Let's just hear how the percussion sounds with the rest of the chord changes. Oh, gotta play the drums. Gotta play them. Here we go. Yeah. That one may be a little soon at the end there. I don't know. That's okay. All right, so that's a pretty good... I feel like we've covered a lot of ground here with this stream today. We've gone 2 hours today. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule the next stream. We're going to start doing these Ableton live streams on Wednesday and Friday if I can, or maybe Wednesday, Saturday if I can, if I'm not performing. I can't make any promises right now. I will send out notifications in Discord though when we're going live. It's going to be typically early time frame like this, between 4 p.m. or maybe even midday, between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. is where I'm going to be going live with these Ableton live streams. Tell a friend if you want to get a friend involved with making music, or if you know you have a friend that wants to make some music, definitely invite your friend over to the stream. I appreciate him trying to get to 50 follows. So close to 50 follows right now. Oh my gosh. 3 more to go, guys. 3 more to go. It's 50 follows. So if you guys can help me get to 50 follows, I really appreciate it. Let's see if there's anything else. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me questions. If you have any questions right now, I'll be glad to take some questions. But again, this is the first version of this new template I'm going to design for you. I'm going to give you 20 chord changes and 20 drum beats, all MIDI files, and they're going to be designed for video game music. Today we started with sort of dark ambient textures and dark stuff that kind of goes along with, you know, weird games or creepy games, you know? I figured it'd be a good place to start. This is easy stuff here. All right, so there we go. Afterburn, thank you again for stopping by. Veronica, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you guys swinging by and checking it out. I know this is probably a little foreign to you guys, probably a little overwhelming too, but I'm still glad that you stopped by. I'm definitely glad to teach and to show you guys Ableton Live, and we'll be glad to help you more if you want to get into Ableton Live. It's perfect for producing music on the fly, especially for video games with this live music gaming concept that Dr. Internet and I are trying to work on. That being said, I'll give you guys about another minute for questions. Take a quick hydration here. This is also my first Ableton Live stream where I actually get into depth with Ableton and show you guys some stuff. So I'm excited about this. This is definitely a big part of my life. All right, guys. I guess that's it for tonight then. I'll be back on, we're just trying for shoot for Friday. Friday between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., somewhere in there. And I'll send out something on Discord and send you all the regular notifications, Instagram, stuff like that too. Please follow and subscribe if you're on YouTube as well. Thanks for stopping by. I will see you on Friday.